Critical race theory.
Critical race theory.
Critical race theory says every white person is a racist.
We don't say this country was founded on racism. We do say that racism plays a role in the development, the historical development of this country, and clearly it did. It's in the Constitution. African-American Black people are 3/5 of a person.
Over the past few months, news headlines have been dominated by the topic of critical race theory. Impassioned debates across the country are asking what role this way of thinking plays in K-12 classrooms. Currently, 23 U.S. states have introduced legislation aiming to ban the teaching of critical race theory in the classroom. As of now, 8 states have successfully signed these bills into law. Alex Johnson is a law professor at the University of Virginia, whose area of expertise includes critical race theory. Johnson believes that the theoretical nature of CRT raises serious doubt about the possibility of banning it in the classroom.
It can't be banned because they can't define it. You can't simply package it up in one sentence or one paragraph. It's about race and how race has impacted our society.
I'm here outside of Stonebridge High School in Loudoun County, Virginia, which has recently been thrown into the national spotlight due to an intense debate surrounding critical race theory in the classroom. Scott Mineo is a parent of 2 students in the Loudoun County School District. Last year, he founded Parents Against Critical Theory, a group that works to ban the teaching of CRT in classrooms across Loudoun County. Mineo believes that the teachings of critical race theory are too singularly focused.
Racism should be discussed, right? But it can't be discussed from a singular perspective. It's not just white people in this country that hate blacks and everybody else. And that's the narrative they try to draw and paint, and it's far from the truth.
But advocates of critical race theory state that they simply support the teaching of historical events as they occurred.
You have to teach history the way that history was written. If you don't want to talk about segregation, then there shouldn't have been segregation. If you don't want to talk about the Chinese Exclusion Act, there shouldn't have been a Chinese Exclusion Act.
I'm teaching children history, and I'm teaching them to become critical thinkers. I'm teaching them to hear a story and say, is that the only story? What's on the other side?
Those that oppose the teaching of critical race theory often feel that these topics are too difficult and complex to be teaching elementary and middle school aged children.
You're going to have the corruption and indoctrination of I don't know how many 3rd graders every year, and 3rd graders, 2nd graders, because they start young. That's why it has to be fought, because we can't have 3rd graders, growing up thinking that they are oppressors.
What impact do you think this will have on kids if CRT is made the norm across the country?
It's going to have great impacts on kids. One is the white kid is either going to grow up to become exactly what they're accusing him of. 2, he's going to grow up with a 500-pound bag of white guilt on his back.
It's not about making a white child feel guilty about them being white. A child should not have an issue with their color. Why is it important to teach history to children? So that child doesn't grow up and make the same mistake that adult did, because nobody explained to that adult as a child the consequences of certain things.
For teachers who support many of the tenets of critical race theory, the end goal is not to bring anyone down, but elevate students of every background.
2 children, even if they are in different zip codes, if they are different races, you should have equal outcomes. That doesn't mean everyone earns an A. It means that children belong, they are accepted, they are affirmed, and they are pushed to be the best that they can be.
As this debate ensues nationally, each state and local school district tries to find out what is best for their students. To find out how Albemarle County answered this question, tune into the 2nd installment of our deep dive into critical race theory. I'm Dylan Castagne, WUVA.